case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
A landmark case marked a pivotal moment in the Supreme Court's 1980 docket, shedding light on prisoners' rights and the adherence to due process even behind bars. The case, known as Vitek v. Jones, concerned a Nebraska prisoner named Jones, who was forcefully transferred from state prison to a mental hospital for treatment of a mental disease, without following adequate procedural safeguards. Jones, who was convicted for robbery in 1974, was briefly hospitalized within the prison and subsequently placed in solitary confinement. After an incident which resulted in his severe burns, Jones was swiftly moved to a state mental hospital. This action, claimed Jones, violated his expectation of due process rights as provided by the state, which guaranteed that a prisoner would not be subjected to adverse action without certain conditions being met. The legality of Jones's transfer became the subject of a legal tug-of-war that culminated in the district court ruling in Jones's favor. The court held that the prisoner's forced relocation without adequate notice and a fair hearing was a breach of his liberty. After this, the state of Nebraska, dissatisfied with the lower court's decision, appealed the case. The issue brought forward to the Supreme Court revolved around whether state statutes could create liberty interests. In this case, the right to due process in prisoner transfers, protected by the Constitution's Due Process Clause. The Supreme Court empathized with the lower court's decision, reinforcing that due process protections are paramount in safeguarding state-created rights from being arbitrarily withdrawn. Ultimately, the Supreme Court concurred with the lower court's decision but modified it appropriately. It affirmed that Nebraska prisoners had a right to legal representation and required procedural protections, which include adequate notice and an opportunity for a hearing before being involuntarily transferred to a state mental hospital. This monumental judgment shines a light on the broader respect for fundamental rights, even within the harsh confines of a prison, thus setting the bar for how the law views the indispensable role of due process.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.